Overwhelming Demand, the Summer of 99 Tour returns. July 27th, FedEx Forum. With special guests 3 doors down. And Mammoth WVH. Tickets on sale now at livenation.com. Creed returns, the Summer of 99 Tour.
Kroger shoppers and Grizz fans, one exclusive last-minute discounted ticket deals takes it straight to you during the Grizzlies 2024-2025 season. Sign up with the new Kroger Buzzer Beater deal. Fans can sign up by texting Grizz to 636-479 or visit your local Kroger store in the Delta Division and scan the QR code. By signing up, you agree to receive recurring automated promotional and personalized marketing text messages from the Memphis Grizzlies. Consent is not a condition of any purchase. Message frequency varies. Message and data rates may apply.
Double your chances to win all month long in March with 2 big promotions. On Fridays, embrace the madness and win a share of $150,000 in cash and free play. On Saturdays, starting March 8th, go for the gold and win your share of up to $10,000 in cash and free play in the $80K Fool's Gold giveaway. Enjoy live entertainment all month long and play for your chance to win big in March only at Southland Casino Hotel. Must be 21 or up. Play responsibly. For help quitting, call 800-522-4700. I need cameras to capture every waking moment between Russell Wilson and Jameis Winston on the same team. The pregame prayers will be generational.
Because that's preacher and a deacon. That's what we're talking about here. That prayer's going to be 40 minutes. We're going to miss the anthem.
Tune in to the Jessica Benson Show with CJ Hurt live every weekday at 8 a.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app. Live from the Built Ford Tough studio at FedEx Forum, it's the Gary Parrish Show, presented by Ortho South, on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app. Now, here's your host, Gary Parrish.
All right. I'm here. My name is Gary Parrish. I'm speaking to you from the Built Ford Tough studio. We're in FedEx Forum, downtown Memphis. Bennett Doyle right there producing the program. Glad he's with me. Glad you're with me. Hope you're getting through the day best you can. And I know there hasn't been a lot of good news connected to the Grizzlies lately. From 2nd to 8th, swept out of the first. You know what's been going on. You know what's been going on.
Yes.
But last night, some good news. No, Jalen Wells didn't win Rookie of the Year. Neither did Zach Edey. But they both finished top 5 in voting among rookies. Stephon Castle's your Rookie of the Year. But Jalen Wells in the top 5, Zach Edey in the top 5. That's encouraging. That's promising. We're looking for any little thing to feel good about, Bennett.
Yep.
I think this qualifies as something to feel good about.
I think so, too.
Then let's celebrate it momentarily. First, though, quickly, let me set today's schedule for you. In the next segment, Chris Vernon is going to join me. He's the host of the Chris Vernon Show. Weekdays noon, Grind City Media. I will obviously talk to him about all things Grizzlies because he's been talking over there for about 2 hours every day. I've been talking over here for about 2 hours every day since the season ended, but we haven't talked together. We haven't bounced ideas off of each other, so we'll do that in about 20 minutes. Finish talking to Vernon, take a break, come back, do 5 more things you need to know, at which point we're going to discuss 5 previously undiscussed stories among them. Tennessee coach Rick Barnes was in Memphis last night and shot down any hopes of the Vols and Tigers playing each other in men's basketball anytime soon. I'll give you the quote. We'll do it in about 40 minutes. Former Memphis signee Mikey Williams has a new college. I'll tell you how poorly his career is going a little later on in the show. More Bill Belichick news, if you can believe it or not. Report this morning from The Athletic that Hard Knocks was supposed to be at North Carolina for a 2-month period this offseason to document year 1 of the Bill Belichick era. But ultimately, HBO pulled out of that, and you'll never guess why. It's because of his 24-year-old girlfriend who was trying to be involved in stuff she didn't need to be involved in. So Hard Knocks just said, we're out of this. I'll give you all the details, at least all of them we know. We'll do that a little later on in the show. Bennett got up this morning and started watching the Today Show and found a story about chicken at fast food restaurants. Apparently,
it's having a moment.
It's having a moment.
I feel like we've been here.
I've had a moment with chicken.
That's what I'm saying.
I've been in a moment with chicken for a long time.
It was a roll my eyes moment when I saw it on my screen this morning.
Today's show just getting up to date on the idea that
something that me and you've known for a long time.
Bennett, I've been knowing about chicken for a long time.
Yeah.
Bennett, look at me. Mm-hmm. Within the past week, I have purchased chicken from Taco Bell.
It's actually sweeping the nation. Would you believe it?
Once upon a time, you couldn't even go to Taco Bell and get chicken, right?
Wouldn't even think of it.
Wouldn't even think about it. Wouldn't even enter your mind. And it doesn't even matter how wild your mind is.
Now it's their most popular menu item.
What am I trying to tell you? We'll discuss the Today Show chicken story. We'll do that in just a bit. And a crazy tragic story involving NFL legend John Elway in a golf cart has made national headlines.
Okay.
Woo. Don't laugh, Bennett.
Okay, I'm not laughing.
It is not anything to laugh about. It is
just typically golf carts stories are funny. This one's not.
Is life support funny?
Not really.
How do you feel on a scale of 1 to 7? Rate life support in terms of its funniness.
Probably about a 1.
Yeah.
Probably about a 1.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then get that smile off your face.
Okay, I will.
Because this involves John Elway, a golf cart, and another man who is on life support.
All right.
I'll tell you what happened. Be careful out there while you're on the golf course. I'll tell you what happened during a segment we call 5 More Things You Need to Know. Then we'll eventually do GP's Carryout, and we'll call it a day. So that's the rundown. We got a lot to get to. But I did want to start with your Memphis Grizzlies because it was a nice night for the franchise, given that both Jalen Wells and Zach Edey were formally recognized as 2 of the top 5 rookies in the NBA this season. A global media panel. I hope you understand. Mm-hmm. This is not a national media panel, Bennett. This is
international?
It's a global media panel.
Wow.
Of exactly 100 voters. They submitted ballots from all over this globe. Do people still have globes? When's the last time you saw a globe out in the wild?
My kid has a globe.
That's nice.
Yeah, I like a globe.
I like a globe.
I like a globe better than a map.
I like a good globe. Mm-hmm. Spin it around a little bit.
Yeah, I feel like you can pinpoint the location better than on a map. It gives you a more accurate depiction of how far apart these things are than an actual map does.
But I just had this moment where I realized I ain't seen a globe in person in years.
Mm-hmm. I like a globe.
I like a globe too, but where do you even go to see one?
Where do you even get one?
Where would you even? Amazon, probably.
Yeah, that's
my home. I have a home with a lot of stuff, but no globes. Should I buy a globe?
Yeah, you remember have you seen in movies and stuff from previous times, people had those tables that had the globe in it.
I'm gonna get a globe. Why don't we put a globe right here?
That is a good spot for a globe.
Yeah, we go right in between me and Jessica Benson and me and Chris Vernon.
Spin it to start the show every day.
Yeah, Mike Wallace would sit right there, and he'd come in. I'd be like, Mike, take a look at the globe.
Yeah.
Let's get a globe.
Let's get a globe.
Who do we talk about getting a globe?
I got people. Okay, I got people in this building. Yeah, we're good.
So it was a global media panel, 100 voters, and they did vote Stephon Castle, the rookie out of UConn for the San Antonio Spurs. He's the rookie of the year. Congrats to him.
Congrats.
I guess. And that's 2 straight rookies of the year for the Spurs. Wemby last season, Stephon Castle this season.
That ain't encouraging if you're a Grizzlies fan.
The future's bright in San Antonio.
Yeah, it appears that way.
It appears. But Jalen Wells did finish 3rd in the voting. Zach Edey finished 5th in the voting. Zachary Ricochet and Alex Sarr finished 2nd and 4th to round out the top 5.
Okay. A little recency bias in this Rookie of the Year voting. That's fine.
It's a global media panel.
I understand.
Bennett. It's a global media panel of 100 voters, and this is the way they vote. If you want to take issue with anybody, it's not going to be me. You're going to have to take issue with the global media panel.
Okay.
So Zach Edey finishes 5th. Jalen Wells finishes 3rd. And I know it's been a rough week, Big Bet Bennett. It's been a rough few months. Not a lot of fun conversations we've had in here over the past few days, over the past few weeks. But if you didn't know anything about anything, this occurred to me last night. If you didn't know anything about anything other than what I'm about to tell you, you'd probably feel pretty good about things. Here's the thing I'm about to tell you. Tell me how this makes you feel.
Okay.
But you have to erase everything else you know. You capable of doing that?
Yes.
You erase everything you know and only focus on what I'm about to tell you, and then tell me how you feel. Bennett, here's what I'm going to tell you. This season, the Grizzlies, because this is true, exceeded their projected win total of 47.5 and did so while having 2 of the best 5 rookies in the entire NBA. If you didn't know anything other than that would sound pretty good, wouldn't it?
Sound amazing.
That would make you think we did some pretty good stuff.
Absolutely.
Hold up. The preseason projected win total was 47.5. That's the over-under. The Grizzlies went over, so exceeded preseason expectations in terms of regular season wins, and then had 2 of the top 5 rookies in the entire NBA. And oh, by the way, did all this while Ja Morant only played 50 games. You feel pretty good about things, wouldn't you? Mm-hmm. Now, it's all the other stuff that makes it tough, right? Yeah, the Grizzlies did win 48 games, but they went 5-9 in their final 14. Went 1-1 in play-in games. Got swept out of the playoffs 0-4 by a franchise that was better than just 2 seasons ago. Plus, the coach got fired. Plus, the franchise point guard got hurt again. And now it appears the core 3 is in jeopardy of getting broken up.
Jesus.
So that's
oh my God.
The reality is depressing. But if you didn't know anything other than 48 wins in the regular season and 2 of the best 5 rookies in the NBA, you'd be a lot happier than you are right now. So we got to figure out how to erase certain things from our memory. I think this is what severance is about.
Yes, it is.
We need severance. Mm-hmm. We need severance. Man, we need severance. I remain optimistic about the future.
I do too.
The present, the reality, a little depressing if I'm being honest. But John only played 50 games. They still won 48. That exceeded regular season expectations, and they had 2 of the top 5 rookies in the entire NBA. If we can focus on that and forget everything else, I think we'll start feeling better about ourselves.
Yeah, like with Jalen, honestly, if he actually played the way that he played for most of the first half of the season, the whole way, he wins that Rookie of the Year going away, I think.
Well, he broke himself.
That's true. That was way later, but I'm just saying, he hit a bit of a rookie wall, as far as scoring.
You know what he really hit
later in the season.
You know what he really hit? The hardwood. In Charlotte. Sure. Ooh, buddy, hit it hard.
And then Edey. I think Edey would have had a chance to win the thing if he would have gotten to play more.
What I hear you suggesting is if they'd have pulled the trigger on Taylor Jenkins back in, say, December.
Or if Taylor would have played him more.
Okay, Bennett.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying, as far as Rookie of the Year goes, I think he would have had a real chance at it.
Second guessing a fired coach who is the winningest coach in franchise history. I see where your heart's at. I
think that if Zach Edey
winningest coach in franchise history, you out here second guessing him. Just
I'm not second guessing. I'm just saying,
quite literally are.
If Zach Edey would have won Rookie of the Year, we're feeling a lot different about the future than maybe we are right here in the present moment.
Man,
I think that would have been a big deal.
Well,
just saying, just throwing that out there.
2 of the top 5 rookies in the entire NBA exceeded expectations with wins in the regular season. If we can just focus on that and forget everything else, I think this is what severance is about. Mm-hmm. We need to find that elevator that they have in severance and forget all the other stuff and just focus on 48 wins in the regular season, 2 of the top 5 rookies in the entire NBA. As it is, also one of the handful of franchises that made the postseason and is already eliminated. But it happened to some more last night. We did get a fun night in the NBA last night.
We did. Yes, we did.
We had the Pistons going into the Garden and beating the Knicks 106-103. Tom Thibodeau leaving Josh Hart and Jalen Brunson on the sideline in the fourth quarter for multiple minutes while the game slips away. Mm-hmm. Oh, buddy, he's getting second-guessed about that. Celtics handled the Magic, no real problems, 120-89. Celtics move on. Orlando eliminated, just like the Grizzlies, just like the Heat. And then the Nuggets, Jokic triple-double. He was awesome. Jamal Murray got 43 points, 131-115 over the Clippers. They take a 3-2 lead, headed back to L.A. for game 6. There. But the game that was, I don't know if it was the most interesting, but it got the most attention because of what happened immediately after the buzzer. That was Pacers-Bucks. Final score 119-118. Indiana wins the series 4-1. Bucks eliminated. One game after losing Damian Lillard to what we now know as an Achilles tear. And, man, Milwaukee gave it away. Just gave it away. Mm-hmm. But, then the buzzer sounds and your season is over. Giannis Antetokounmpo, a world champion, an MVP, one of the greatest players this world's ever seen, is standing on the court just sort of, I don't know, taking it in whatever form that takes. I don't want to try to get into his head and tell you I know what he was thinking. But you can go to CBSSports.com right now, and they literally have an article ranking all 29 franchises other than Milwaukee and what kind of fit they would be for Giannis Antetokounmpo. Mm-hmm. Given that Milwaukee seems nowhere close to competing right now, and that Giannis's best teammate is almost certainly going to miss all of next season, given that he's 35 years old and coming off an Achilles tear.
Yep.
There's a lot of thought that, quietly or not so quietly, Giannis could ask Milwaukee to move him this offseason. And last night could have been the last game he ever plays in that uniform for that franchise. So final buzzer sounds. I don't know that type of stuff's going through his head, but it wouldn't be crazy if it was. Either way, he's just standing on the court. Next thing you know, you see a man who is a fan by definition on the court holding something in front of Giannis and just talking crazy to him. And Giannis is kind of looking at him like, what are you doing? And then it gets like uncomfortable where by the time the cameras pick it up live, or at least the first version of it you probably see on social media, is Giannis and this man who we come to find out is Tyrese Halliburton's father kind of jawing back and forth at each other. And it's like, man, is Giannis about to fight Tyrese Halliburton's dad? What's going on?
Oh, he was thinking about it.
By the time you get the full clip of exactly what happened, it offers a clearer view. And what you find out very quickly is Giannis is better than most of us, because most of us would have reacted much quicker than Giannis did. What you see is the game's over. Giannis might have just played his last second in a Milwaukee uniform. He's standing on the court, quietly just taking it in. A man who Giannis doesn't recognize at first is in his face, taunting him, just taunting him. And Giannis is like, what? And then finally he's like, says something, because the guy will not stop. It was wildly inappropriate. Even Tyrese Halliburton, after the game, said, I think my pops was out of line.
Yeah.
He was out of line. It's embarrassing. I'll never know why parents need to be involved this much in their kids' sports stuff, whether your kid is Tyrese Halliburton or, 8 years old playing baseball in Tupelo. Like, what is the problem with just sitting down, shutting up, enjoying watching your kids have fun, regardless of their age? Your children compete regardless of their age, and stay out of it.
I like parents getting into the games and having fun and everything, but you can't go and wave a towel in a guy's face right after he lost a huge game.
Every weekend in youth baseball, I see a parent act in a way that is embarrassing. Every weekend, embarrassing. You're embarrassing yourself, probably also embarrassing your children, and just acting in a way that's wildly inappropriate given the situation. Every once in a while in the NBA, you'll see a parent, a father of a player do something similar. You can probably name some of them. And last night was the latest example of one. And Tyrese Halliburton's father was wildly out of line. Should maybe be banned from the next game or the rest of these playoffs. You can't have fans just running on the court like that. If a normal fan, if my oldest son ran on the court and tried to taunt Giannis Antetokounmpo after that game, he's just my son. He's not Tyrese Halliburton's dad. He's just my son or your son. It doesn't matter who. You would be banned from the next game at FedEx Forum. You just would.
Yes.
You just would. You can't do that. So there's some thought that Tyrese Halliburton's dad should be punished for this in some real way, or at least banned from the arena for some period of time. I'll let Indiana figure that out. But after the game, Giannis was obviously asked about it. And, buddy, he's got some all-time great press conference answers, and he delivered another one last night. It's a little long, bear with me, but I just thought it was great. Giannis Antetokounmpo last night, right after his season ended and possibly his time in Milwaukee, asked about Tyrese Halliburton's father taunting him immediately after the buzzer. Here's what Giannis said.
Nothing. And this is the last time I'm going to say. I won't talk a lot. We lost the game. It doesn't really matter. One thing I'll say is that I believe being humble in victory. That's how I am. Now there can be a lot of people out there that are like, no, when you win the game, you gotta tag, and it's a green light for you to be disrespectful towards somebody else. I disagree. I've won the championship. They haven't. Okay, and that doesn't say anything. I'm not trying to minimize their effort, but I remember when I won, my mom, that she's never missed a game from February 11th or 13th when she came in Milwaukee against the Knicks. She's never missed a game. When we won the championship, I remember my mom, she was scared to cross. She was like, am I allowed to come and hug my son? I see, except now my brother does media. For this year, he wants to come back and play. But like, except in that, you've never seen my family like see courtside. See, this is not something that we do. We don't. I try to keep my family away from the game. But losing the game, emotions run high. Having a fan, which at the moment I thought he was a fan, but then I realized it was Tyrese' son, which I love. Tyrese, I think, is a great competitor. He was his dad, sorry. Coming in the floor and showing me his son a towel with his face. This is what we do. This is what we effing do. This is the F we do. This. I feel like that's very, very disrespectful. You know, my dad, if you guys go and ask and learn, my dad's not with us no more. My dad used to come in the family room and was the most respectful person ever. You know, when you come from nothing and you've worked your whole life to sell stuff in the street, and your whole life you'll be scared of the police of deporting you and sending you back to your country. You have to protect your kids with all means. You create this mentality of being humble your whole life, to not kind of disrespect anybody, not make the tension high, the emotions high, so anybody can, snitch on you, say something bad about you. So when he came here, I remember I was like, Dad, why are you so humble? Why are you going to the family room? You don't even say a word. You sit in the back. Why are you like that? Don't worry about it. Don't worry. That's how I grew up. That's what I had around. So when I see other dads, which don't disrespect me, maybe if my son play basketball, I might be in the court. I might be the one on the court, and like 20 years later, you can play this interview and say, Giannis, you're contradicting yourself. But we'll see in 20 years. But I'm talking about right now how I feel. Having somebody's dad, which I'm happy for him, and I'm happy for his son, and I'm happy that he's happy for his son. That's how you're supposed to feel. But coming to me and disrespecting me and cursing at me, I think is totally unacceptable. Totally unacceptable. Okay? And I'm not the guy that points fingers, because in my neighborhood, snitches get stitches. So I don't want to say something, for him to get fined or anything. But it's not respectful. I talked with him at the end, and I think we're in a good place.
Love it. Honest but respectful. Acknowledging, hey, maybe one day I'll be a father and my son will be a basketball player and I'll react the same way. I don't want to say, never say never, but it's not the way I would react now. It's not the way I think fathers should react. And all that said, I am happy for Tyrese. I'm happy for his father. I'm happy that his father's happy for his son, and we're in a good place. Just handled it beautifully. And to be fair, Tyrese, I thought, handled it really well too. Didn't try to defend his dad, didn't try to pop off, didn't try to say it was no big deal. Said, hey, my dad was in the wrong. I've already talked to him. I'm going to talk to Giannis. We'll make this right. They're going to be fine. Ultimately, this isn't the biggest deal in the world. I just love the way Giannis handled that. I like hearing him talk. I love watching him play. I love hearing him talk.
I love watching him play too.
That's the dude I want my kids listening to. That's the dude I want my kids looking up to. Mm-hmm. That guy. When my sons come to me and they say, Dad, can we get a new pair of Giannis's? 100%. We get 3 pair of them. That's who, if they look up to him, that's who I want them to look up to. Son of immigrants, raised in Greece, parents from Nigeria. You hear him talk about his father, how his father conducted himself humbly, in a humble way, never trying to draw too much attention. I know we live in a country now where emotions have been heightened, and immigration's a big topic. I don't want to get into it too deeply, but what you'll find out if you do even a little bit of reading, just a little, is that what Giannis described is largely true. How Giannis described his father is largely true. Yeah, you can find a criminal gang member here or there if you're looking for it. But broadly speaking, immigrants are not our problem. Broadly speaking, immigrants are not the ones out there robbing and raping and killing and that's not real life. I know it happens, and I know you can find examples, and I know when they do, they show it to you over and over and over again, sometimes while misrepresenting what actually happened. But largely speaking, when immigrants are in a new country, they're not trying to draw any attention to themselves. They're uncomfortable, they're unsure, they're uncertain, and largely, broadly speaking, they're just trying to create a better life for the kids. It doesn't mean we shouldn't have a real border and shouldn't have a process. I get all that. But the way Giannis described his father is, I think, a pretty good representation of what we're, broadly speaking, talking about. And sometimes in this political climate, that gets lost. You can tell clearly his parents did an amazing job with him. And he also is very appreciative of the opportunities his parents were able to give him. But I thought it was interesting hearing him contrast his father with Tyrese Halliburton's father. Not judging, was very clear, like, I'm not judging. I'm just saying it's very different than what I knew, what I was around, the way I think I would be. And he's just a thoughtful guy. Obviously a brilliant basketball player, but just a thoughtful guy. Keep in mind, that's not his native language. He is talking intelligently and thoughtfully in a secondary language. He's just awesome. I don't know if he's going to continue his career in Milwaukee, but if it's Milwaukee or somewhere else, like, there's going to be a whole fan base that's going to have somebody to really rally around, because that guy he seems just as impressive off the court in many ways as he does on the court. And last night was a reminder of that. Chris Vernon up next.
We touched on this earlier, the panel here, about what really has been the mainstay of the Grizzlies, and that's Jaren Jackson Jr. Trip has just been awesome.
He's posting guys up. He's stronger than he's ever been. He's physical, and he's scoring all type of ways.
Hey, Grizzlies fans, be sure to tune in to Grizz Beat, where the panel and I break down all things Grizzlies and take a look at the rest of the NBA as well. The show is live every Wednesday, 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
With a knockaway.
Good defense.
Durant attacking, spinning, hanging, and hitting.
Let's go.
Shinedown. Dance Kid Dance Tour. Live in Memphis. FedEx Forum Saturday, August 30th. With special guests, Bush and Morgan Wade. Get tickets now at livenation.com. Shinedown, live in concert. For more, visit shinedown.com.
All you American wrestling fans out there, watching this international road to WrestleMania should be a wake-up call. Turn up at these shows. Stop being so spoiled, because Cody Rhodes, Cody Rhodes, Cody Rhodes.
I love it.
Cody Rhodes.
Let's go, Cena. Cena sucks.
Yeah.
I'm wagging my finger because you're telling those people that they need to do better.
Yeah.
Tune in to Grind City Wrestling weekly on the Grind City Media app and on the Grind City Media YouTube channel.
Grizz Nation gets set for tip-off 1 hour before every Grizzlies home game with the warm-up show. Get the latest news, notes, and analysis live from courtside at FedEx Forum.
Who's going to be the tougher team that rebounds and prevents second-chance opportunities?
Join me, Lang Whitaker, along with Michael Wallace, Jessica Benson, and other personalities from Grind City Media, Memphis, and around the NBA. 1 hour before every home game, live at Grind City Media on X, YouTube, and the official Grind City Media mobile app.
Welcome back. Gary Parrish Show, presented by Ortho South on Wednesdays in the second segment. I'm joined by Chris Vernon, host of the Chris Vernon Show, weekdays, noon, Grind City Media. I want to talk Grizzlies with you in a minute, but first, because I just played the Giannis clip from last night, Tyrese Halliburton's father runs on the court, gets in his face. Giannis is like, what is going on? And then I talked about it thoughtfully in the postgame. Just what'd you make of that whole scene?
Insane. I think it's a culmination of, I have a 15-year-old. I've been in gyms for the last, better part of 10 years. I've seen guys fight. I've seen parents act like wild. And so it's like, I don't know, it kind of made it to the NBA level.
That's right.
I've seen parents, we were at William was in an AAU game on a Tuesday night in the summer between two teams that stunk. And I watched two dads start barking at each other so much that they walked outside. They said, then let's just walk outside.
Oh, yeah.
Now, Gary, when I tell you, they don't even keep records in this. No one has any idea. None of this matters.
None of it matters.
None of it.
Right.
And there was so two guys, and they start marching out together. And I'm thinking to myself, what are they going to tell their kids when one of them is
I see it every
So
week.
then 15, then there's other parents that see it, so they start following out because they're going to have to break up a fight between two parents. I'm like, bro, when I tell you, William, that was in the summer after 6th grade.
Yeah.
The summer after 6th grade. So he was probably 12?
Yeah.
12 years old, and two parents, one team made a comeback on the other. The other dad gets in the other dad's face. I told you. And he's like, you want to go outside? And I'm like, what is happening? What is happening? So because I have seen and I am around, whether it is my son's games or my daughter's games, I see parents all the time. And I see the actions of parents and how they react to youth sports all the time. When I see something like that happen, of course you say, that's ridiculous. It shouldn't happen. These guys are professional basketball players. But there is a culture of parents that are very overzealous in a way that was just not the case when you and I were kids. And in fairness, look, I take the blame. It's our generation.
Yeah.
Because we're the ones that are parents now. We look around, but our parents did not act like that at games.
It is typically the parents who are living vicariously through their kids.
Part of it.
Like they don't have as much going on in their adult lives.
That's right.
To hold on to, so they live through their children, and it gets sometimes weird. I don't want to say I see it every weekend, but this is something that really happened this weekend at our baseball tournament. It's just a game. I'm not going to win Father of the Year. I'm not the best father. I don't even know if I'm a good one. But I will never embarrass my children at a soccer field or a baseball field or a basketball court. I'm just not going to do that. I sit quietly. I love them. I appreciate them. I don't cause a scene ever. Literally never. But this is something that happened just the other day. And it was no big deal, but it was noticeable. The game's just happening. I'm sitting there, and next thing you know, our first base coach is yelling. Our dugout's the first base. Our first base coach is yelling at the third base dugout. Hey, no. I'm like, what is going on? One of our parents had gotten mad about I still to this moment don't even know what this person was mad about, but had an issue with something the other team did, literally got up, walked over there, and was arguing with the other team's coach through the dugout. This is 8-year-old baseball.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, what? I still to this moment don't even know what happened, but something like that happens all the time. Here's one for you. AAU basketball, long time ago, out in Vegas. Derrick Rose's team. Derrick Rose, Eric Gordon are on the same AAU team. They have an 8 a.m. game. I get there at 8:11 because, it's Vegas. What are you going to do? Doing the best you can. And I walk in, and Memphis is recruiting Derrick Rose. It's pretty clear they're going to get him. I don't think they had signed him yet, but they were going to get him. John Calipari's there. Tony Barbie's there. The whole staff's there to see Derrick Rose. They're not missing any Derrick Rose games. I walk in. The coach of Derrick Rose's team is Reggie Rose at the time because that's the way you would make money back then. You'd be the coach of the AAU team. I walk in, and very noticeably, Reggie's not there. And I asked somebody on the Memphis staff, I said, hey, where's Reggie? And they said, oh, he got kicked out. You just got here? I was like, yeah, I just got here. What happened? He's like, you got kicked out. I said, for what? He said, off the record? I was like, yeah, of course. He said, it was a ref made a call, and Reggie told the ref he was going to go to his car and get a gun and shoot him. Okay, and so they kicked him out, and I said, "Oh Jesus Lord, they're going to go get a gun and shoot him?" Yeah, and I was like, "Whoa!" He was like, then the coach was like, "It was a bad call, GP. It was a bad call."
I've got a buddy in town that refs youth games. I bet he could tell you 10 stories at minimum of being followed out to the parking lot.
Like this
by
one,
parents.
Oh, this is another one.
Like the game is over.
Yeah. Oh, I've witnessed this.
And he is walking to the parking lot to his car, and he is being followed by a parent. So again,
I watched Tim Floyd, the old USC coach. I watched Tim Floyd break up a fight between people after an AAU game one time in a parking lot. Like, hey, we're not going to do this.
So I think anybody that's not in the, in gyms, on fields a lot.
Right.
I mean, I was at my, I go to my daughter's soccer games, and I see, especially like with the out-of-town tournaments and stuff, I mean, you would think that it matters, right? Like there was one, she had a game in Chattanooga a couple weeks ago. My wife ended up taking her, they ended up riding with another family. And because I said, I am not, like, it was when we had all those thunderstorms and everything. And I was like, what? I was like, why are we going to Chattanooga? She's on this like state league team, so they have to play teams around the state. She's 11.
Oh, dude, we're 8. We're out of town every weekend.
So she's 11, and I'm like, so then I was like, look, this is like borderline dangerous. I was like, this is crazy. I was like, why are we doing this? They said, oh well, the thunderstorms aren't going to be there until Sunday, so they're rescheduling the game for Saturday night, and if we don't show up, like if they've got it rescheduled now, and the weather's supposed to be nice. I said, what happens if we don't show up? Like, what if we just say, hey, we can't make it. There's like bad weather or whatever. They said, then we forfeit. And my answer, I swear to God, I said this. My answer was, does that mean we can't win the $1 million? And they're like, what? And I was like, does that mean we can't win the $1 million? They're like, well, we don't win anything. And I was like, exactly.
Then what are we doing?
Cares?
Who cares?
Who cares if we forfeit?
No.
Why are you putting your life at risk to go to some stupid soccer game in Chattanooga? But that's just the world it is now.
This is the world we live in.
Like, and nobody wants to. And my argument to my wife was, I said, look, all of y'all are on this group text. Nobody wants to do this.
Right.
Nobody.
Right.
Instead of just being passive aggressive, how about somebody stands up and says, this is stupid?
That's right.
I was like, I'm not involved in it. I'm not on like the group text or whatever, so I'm not going to do it. And basically the answer was nobody wants to do it because then the coach would take it out on their kid. Right? Because you're the one that's ruining it for right? If you are the one that was to express how goofy this all is, then you're like, geez,
youth sports is out of hand.
You don't care about it
and
enough.
I do think what we saw last night was a carryover of youth sports
That's what
being
I
out
think.
of hand.
It's just a culmination of, right?
The most enjoyable thing we do right now in terms of sports as a family is both of my little guys who have never really played basketball are now playing rec basketball with their neighborhood friends 4 minutes from our house.
So
it's the best thing. Nobody cares. There's no pressure. We're not practicing 7 days a week. That's the best thing.
Trust me, William did all of it. He did AAU. He did school. He did everything. Basically, this past year, what I did is a lot of those kids, it was like, hey, you have to practice every single day, and then you never get in the games, right? Yeah. At school. Yeah. Because they're not like they're basically players 7 through 12.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So I took basically players 7 through 12, and then they got 3 more of their friends, and I coached them this past year, and it was these past 2, and it was by far the most fun we have ever had. It's not even close.
Right.
Like, I mean, I remember after our first game of it, they're all cheering each other on. Their friends are at the games. Their girlfriends are at the games, the whole thing. And their parents are there, and it's all fun. And we get in the car, and I remember turning around to him, and I said the same thing I've said for so many years, but it finally, I think, got through. And I was like, this is supposed to be fun.
That's right.
Like, we're doing sports because this is fun. We're not doing it. Like, I'm not, like, you haven't been doing this to try to get to a college scholarship. Some kids do are trying to get a college scholarship. They're trying to get, now
your
there's
kid's
NIL
not going to be
money,
Austin
whatever.
Riley, okay? Relax. Your kid's not Austin Riley.
But I turned to him and I said, this is like, Because I felt like even at a young age with him, there was just so much pressure to be involved in this and be involved in that and make this team and make that team. And I'm like, it's supposed to be about playing with your friends and having fun. Like, this is like...
No, we drive an hour and a half every weekend and play baseball all day long. And if I were in charge, we would do it less. We would still do it.
But you have to.
But we do it less.
But it's the pressure of. It's
Yeah.
like, or your kid's going to fall behind.
That's right.
That's right.
Oh, and especially like where I live, if you're not playing this level of baseball at 8 years old, you're done with baseball.
Right.
You're just done with it. So
which is bananas.
But here we are.
Why can't we just play for school?
I
You know
mean,
what I mean? No. By the time my kid was in 5th grade, none of the good kids played for school. None of them.
In what sport?
Oh, right now, my daughter is in soccer.
Right.
They're all on the same team.
Right.
Playing for one of the club teams. Okay? Or a state league. My son, it was baseball.
Yeah.
They are all in GBL, Germantown Baseball, or they were in one of those leagues. By the time we got to I'd say 5th grade. 5th grade, the school team had nobody. Well,
where our kids go to school, the high school team is good, and they have SEC level players.
Yeah.
But if you're not a quote competitive baseball player by the age of 8, 9, 10, you're not playing for this high school team. It's over.
Right.
It's over.
That's right.
And so you get sucked into you genuinely I know this is stupid. I also don't know what the alternative is other than don't play baseball. So,
Well, and in this case, so Haley, my daughter, she played for school.
Right.
She scored 40 goals.
That's right. Yeah.
In a season.
Right.
40. It was I said, where are the good players?
Yeah. No.
And she's like, this is where they all are.
That's right.
So she went to there, and that's where she is now.
Right.
And it's okay. Because it was just unfortunate. It's even it's not just your school, it's the other schools too.
Yeah.
That's what led to it.
Yeah, the whole
right?
culture of youth sports is not where it should be.
Well, it's just wherever you got to spend money.
Yeah, that's it. It's a business.
No, school's free. The school team is free.
Oh, yeah. No, but the other stuff is just a business.
And they got people that schedule the games, and there's people that run it, and there's people that officiate it, whatever. Yeah. No, oh my God, good grief. The amount of money I've spent on kids that are come on.
Yeah.
What are we doing?
I
know, no, trust me. And so all I'm saying is, I promise you that ain't the first time Mr. Halliburton has gotten in somebody's face. It just culminated with friggin' Giannis.
Okay, so let's get back to basketball. With Giannis. Is that his last game in a Milwaukee uniform?
I think it's extremely likely. Two things. First of which, the situation that they are in, right? You've got Damian Lillard on the books for over $100 million. You have no young up-and-coming player. You don't really have draft capital, and you don't have assets, right? And you don't have cap room. So, and Lillard's 34, and Brook is 37. So, he might want to see it through, and that would just be you just got so lucky. On the other hand, there's already a report by Shams this morning that they're going to sit down to talk about the future. Right. So we will see, right? And I think they have such a good relationship with him that they could probably, either way, right? They'll be able to come to terms with, okay, hey, we understand what your goals are. And they're either going to be able to convince him that there's a path forward with Milwaukee or not. That is the job at this point. The other thing is, and this probably is a lucky thing for the management there in some ways, and not the management, but rather the general manager. So somebody else came after John Horst, the general manager of the Milwaukee Bucks. I can't remember which team it was, but recently this happened. He got called, and there was a report as of last week, probably goes unnoticed by most people. John Horst signed a long-term contract with the Milwaukee Bucks last week. He signed a long-term extension with the Milwaukee Bucks. This is prior to the Lillard injury. So part of what takes place when this, I do think that if you hadn't signed, obviously you want to do your best to keep Giannis. But when you sign a long-term contract, now you can go into this meeting in a different way.
Of course.
Right? Because if the Giannis era is over and they're not going to let you see the next, but they obviously committed to you, whatever is to come,
You're freed up to rebuild if you want to.
Right, correct. In a way that is atypical. Right? Because
they might, in a typical way, they might fire you and then start to rebuild with a new guy.
Correct.
They're going to let you do the rebuild if you want to.
Correct.
Yeah.
And so now, because he signed that contract, I think it would be more likely. And the other thing is, I mean, because of the Lillard injury, I think it gives him an automatic out. It gives him an automatic out. Absolutely.
It would be unreasonable for any Milwaukee fan to not understand why he would want out.
I will also say that if you're him, you could build that into something amazing with the trade.
Mm-hmm.
Like, for Giannis, you could build out a team. That's how good that is.
You give them you give them almost anything.
Bro, there were Grizzly fans last night sending me
Jaren and Dez.
Yeah. And all these picks and whatever. And on the server, it's something that people would actually talk about legitimately. On the other hand, you could see it on their side. It's like, bro, you could build out a pretty great team pretty quickly. Mm-hmm. Right? If you add a couple more here, a couple more there, and obviously there's a price reduction on that because Giannis just gets paid $58 million, $60 million. So, I mean, I don't think a lot of times you would just say, oh, well, you're going to go into a rebuild. I would look at it if I'm John Horst and go, well, I can get actually what I need is 4 good players. I can get 2 good players, some really good young and up and coming players, and some draft capital. He will command the largest trade return in NBA history, and it won't be close.
If you were Zach Kleiman, would you call on it?
Anybody has to consider an opportunity to get one of the top 3 players in the world. Come on.
Who's still only 30 years old.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Of course. You would be... It'd be ridiculous to not put forth your offer for it.
Right.
There's only so many of these guys in the world. If you can get one of the top 3 players in the world, you at least put forth your offer. But what I'm saying is, you may not even have the best offer in this deal. You might.
Right.
You might have the best offer in this deal, but he will command, because Luka didn't go to market.
Right.
Luka would have.
They just
but
didn't
this guy, I mean, you think about this, Gary.
He's everything you want.
Bro, Mikal Bridges, you got 5 first-rounders for him. What is the trade package?
Right.
And he's in his prime.
That's right.
Right now, if that is the case, it will be able to net the biggest trade return in the history of the league. You could get great players, young players, and draft picks.
You get it all.
Yes.
Before I get you out of here, let me ask you this. Obviously, things are complicated, 2 to tango, all that stuff. Let me ask you the question this way. No guarantee you can get anything done if you are in charge of the Grizzlies. I'm putting you in charge. No guarantee you can get done what you want to get done, but I'm asking you, what is the first thing you want to try to get done to fix this? Where do you look first? What are you trying to do first?
Add veterans. End of story. I don't know how anybody watches these playoffs and doesn't see it. I told them this over and over again. You have to have people that have won something. You have to have people that have experience. Mm-hmm. That's it. End of story. When this team, and I got it, there's a huge conversation that's going on about the core 3, and is the core 3 good enough? I told you this last week. It was when you had 10 good players.
That's right.
When I can have an argument, and everybody can have an argument over who the 4th best player is, that's your problem. And so he says, and I will say that, Zach Kleiman even said in his exit interview, we're not one gritty veteran away, right? That is in one way to say that's not our step to the championship. Understood, right? That's not what it's going to take to win a championship. That we're not one player away from that, being able to compete for a championship. My point was always, bro, you're not going to make it out of the first round. You can't beat good teams. Right? And so that was the depressing part about not addressing anything nobody's asking you to make the move that's going to win a championship. You have to be able to make moves. Sometimes everything's not going to be a home run, right? The singles and the doubles help. This is exactly what Chris Finch talked about, how Anthony Edwards is now progressing as a player. And it's like, you've got to add players. And he says, oh, well, we added Lamar Stevens, or we added this guy. No. You have to have, and stop being so, if it's me, I've got to let go of the fact that I drafted them, so I believe in them and whatever. Because to a man, if we sat here and had a conversation, everybody's going to say, "Oh, Scottie Pippen, I love Scottie Pippen." Jalen Wells, oh, I love Jalen Wells. Oh, Zach Edey, I love Zach Edey. Right? Everybody loves everybody.
Right.
They're not good enough.
Right.
They're not good enough. You have to separate. These are the uncomfortable conversations you have to have. They are not good enough.
I did think it was noticeable when Zach went down the list of, dogs or however you want to label it.
Come on.
You can't it's just your rookies. Like that's not where that conversation should start.
The other thing is this. They're not dog we need to have a dog identification tutorial. The first name he listed was Jalen Wells. You wouldn't be scared to run up on Jalen Wells in a dark alley? What are we talking about? I gave one criteria. Dog identification is someone you're scared to fight.
You'd run up on Jalen Wells in an alley and he'd be like,
"Hi, how you doing?
Excuse me, sir, may I help you?"
Yeah, come on, bro.
Can I help you?
Come on. We're talking about an edge.
Jalen Wells is exactly who I would want to run into in a dark alley.
Right. He might help me.
He might help me.
Right.
He would help me get to my car.
Yes.
He would open the door for me.
Yeah. So we need to have dog identification. Now, working hard and playing hard is not a dog. Right?
Would you make a phone call on any of the core three?
Everything's on the table.
Everything's on the table.
Everything's on the table. What are we talking about?
Yeah.
Right? Everything's on the table.
I think everything's got to be on the table.
It has to be, especially if you're trying to. When you decide that you need to drastically improve, not improve, drastically improve. Now, again, I've said this for years. I don't think the job stuff. I don't think the job problems, the trouble takes place if you would have had vets in that locker room. And then save me, Steven Adams was there and whatever.
Yeah, like Steven Adams, he wasn't listening to Steven Adams. Right.
I saw that, and then after that season, they said we tripled down on youth and it was a mistake. And then he came back next year, and obviously last year was a total disaster after they had added Smart and Rose, and so they tried it. And then they came back this year, and then they said they were unintentionally young, which just bugs me to no end because literally game one, we're in there saying, this is cool. It's great that Jalen Wells and Zach Edey are starting and that they're playing well. It's not good enough for playoffs. Yeah. You can't start two rookies in the playoffs. Yeah. And then we got to the trade deadline, and I'm like, I'm sure they're going to improve that position. And instead, they got rid of two wings. Right. And it's like, the acknowledgement should have been made. And so it sounds good to say, well, look, it wasn't counted on, but Jalen Wells won that thing on merit. Then that's a problem. Right. If a rookie that shoots 42% from the field is your best option, you're not at an impasse of improvement here, right? They still need to find a starting level, serious small forward. I'm sorry.
Don't you think
I love Jalen Wells too. So everybody can say, well, wait, I love Jalen Wells. And you know what? Zach Edey should be a backup center. I'm sorry. He should. Let him grow into what he is eventually going to be.
Don't you think at the trade deadline,
have him be most effective for the 20 minutes he can play?
Just to play devil's advocate, don't you think at the trade deadline, Zach would tell you, we thought Vince Williams was going to emerge and be that guy?
No, it's a bunch of deals that didn't get done.
Well, yes, they didn't get. Yes,
that's what I'm saying. Get it done. Stop being risk averse and get it done. Dude, they didn't want the 9th pick in the draft. They didn't. Everybody in the free world reported that. On draft night, everybody reported they're trying to trade up. Mm-hmm. You didn't get it done.
Right.
They wanted Dorian Finney-Smith. Oh, they didn't get it done. Right. They were going to get Lonzo Ball. That was reported. Oh, it didn't get done. Put a huge offer out there for Kevin Durant. Didn't get done.
Is this the
Though
same?
They say that the Jimmy Butler thing, right? That one is, look, we never made an offer, whatever. Jimmy Butler leaked to every media member in the world, I'm not going to Memphis, because very clearly Mickey Loomis and Pat Riley had gone to him and said, here's the best deal we've got for you. Right. This is what we want to do. So he leaks to everybody in the world. Why would he just out of nowhere?
We'll just pick Memphis.
Come on. Right. You think he just you know what? The only place I don't want to go is... Why? You wouldn't even say anything.
Obviously, Danny Ainge has an incredible legacy, but correct me if I'm wrong, was this kind of a knock on him in Boston? Like, yo, man, pull the trigger on something eventually. And then Brad Stevens did.
Right.
Brad Stevens got the job and was like, all right, we're doing the Porzingis deal.
Right.
And then championship.
Right.
But Ainge would never quite pull the trigger on the big deal, would he?
I don't know. I mean, certainly he was married to those guys that, right. And he was right. Yeah. He was right. Right. I'll just say, like, bro, like, at this point, you're tired about hearing about the birth pains. Like you show me the baby, and you've used so much draft capital on attempting to get a small forward. You have used trades.
You could have taken all these picks you used on small forwards and packaged them to get a small forward. I mean, that's true.
I mean,
yeah.
You only have now, and again, first is the coach, then the players. Yeah. That's what's happening. So now, okay, the coach didn't fix that? Oh, okay, well, now we need to get rid of Desmond Bain or whoever, right? Like, I mean, that's the way it works. And it's like, bro, if you only had 2 spots to fill. I just watched Dylan Brooks and Steven Adams the other night. You'd rather have both of them.
That's right. You would. I had that same moment on Saturday night. You watched the Grizzlies get eliminated.
You've had 3 years to improve either position, and you have not improved either. No. You're not better at the 2. You only have 2 spots to fill, Gary. Mm-hmm. You only have 2. You know what I mean? So it's like the same thing when you say, what would you do if you were in charge? Bro, it's the same thing I would have done 3 years ago. Once I decide I'm getting Dylan Brooks, I better have an option. That's what life is. Life is leverage. And it's like, bro, if you're not going to be able to do better than this, then don't do it. It's a discussion you had about P.J. Haggerty yesterday within the position he's in. It's like bizarre, right? You know very well, this is the Nico story as well. And it's like, bro, you better have something lined up if you're going to make that right. I had Grind City Media and The Ringer lined up. If I'm going to do something crazy like leave the radio station, I better know that I'm not going to be without job. I got 2 kids. Right. Bro, these guys have made decisions. You know what I mean? You keep making decisions without the backup plan. And it's like, all right, well, then we draft Zaire Williams, then we draft Jake LaRavia, then we draft David Roddy, then we draft, on and on and on. And it's like, then we go trade for Marcus Smart. And it's like, how have none of this worked out? Yeah. None of it? Wow. We started Scottie Pippen Jr. at small forward. Played great.
He did.
Played great.
It's like, I feel good about Scottie Pippen Jr.
I know. Everybody does. Yeah. Everybody feels great about everything all the time. And it's like, this is when the rubber meets the road. It's like, you can't feel great about this anymore. I got it. Everybody loves all of these guys. That's what being a fan is. But, like, it's not good enough.
It's not good enough.
Watch these playoff games.
Yeah.
Oh, some of these are warfare.
Yeah.
Truly.
All right. I understand your frustration.
Yeah.
I understand your frustration, and I'll be watching you at noon. That's Chris Vernon from The Chris Vernon Show. Noon, big studio. He'll be here at Grind City Media. We come back. Rick Barnes was in Memphis last night. He was asked about continuing or renewing the Memphis-Tennessee basketball series. He said, and I think this is a quote, "No way, Jose." I actually don't think that's a quote, but that's the type of thing I would say. No way, Jose. He shot it down. Not on the verge of happening. Not in the plans. Not in the works. No conversations. We'll talk Memphis, Tennessee basketball next. Gary Parrish Show presented by Ortho South.
Honor of George Foreman. Decided to do a pick 6 on 6 greatest heavyweight boxers of all time.
Number 4, my guy, Mike Tyson. There is no greater feat that I've had. Like, if I had my Mount Rushmore of things that I've accomplished in my life, the very first time I beat Mike Tyson in Mike Tyson Punch-Out.
Get all of your HBCU sports and culture news by tuning in to HBCU Huddle with CJ Hurt and Mike Wallace. New episodes drop every Thursday on grindcitymedia.com, YouTube, and Spotify.
Let's face it, there's a lot of trash talk in basketball, but the great teams let their performance do the talking. Like Ford F-150 with Pro Power on board, a class-exclusive industry-first feature that turns your truck into a mobile generator and leaves the competition speechless. Ford F-150, official truck of the Grizzlies. Greatness starts here at your Mid-South Ford dealer. Class is full-size pickups under 8,500 pounds, GBWR.
Kroger shoppers and Grizz fans, one exclusive last-minute discounted ticket deals texted straight to you during the Grizzlies 2024-2025 season. Sign up with the new Kroger Buzzer Beater deal. Fans can sign up by texting Grizz to 636-479 or visit your local Kroger store in the Delta Division and scan the QR code. By signing up, you agree to receive recurring automated promotional and personalized marketing text messages from the Memphis Grizzlies. Consent is not a condition of any purchase. Message frequency varies. Message and data rates may apply.
The new issue of Slam, the cover dropped, and it is our friend Jaren Jackson Jr. on the cover.
And shout out to you, Lane.
Yeah.
You kept, well, I mean, we knew about it, but you kept this a secret the whole time. So shout out to you for
I wrote
putting
this story.
together.
We did the photo shoot a couple weeks ago here on a Sunday afternoon in the practice court. The Sneak Fest show, live Tuesdays at 2 p.m. on Grind City Media on X, YouTube, and the official Grind City Media mobile app. Grizz Nation gets set for tip-off 1 hour before every Grizzlies home game with the warm-up show. Get the latest news, notes, and analysis live from courtside at FedEx Forum.
Who's going to be the tougher team that rebounds and prevents second chance opportunities?
Join me, Lang Whitaker, along with Michael Wallace, Jessica Benson, and other personalities from Grind City Media, Memphis, and around the NBA. 1 hour before every home game, live at Grind City Media on X, YouTube, and the official Grind City Media mobile app.
Orthopedic injuries can be unpredictable, unforeseen, and unscheduled, and Ortho South understands this better than anyone. Since your injuries don't make appointments, you don't need to either. And that's because Ortho South welcomes walk-ins during the weekdays and in the evenings and even on Saturdays. So next time an unforeseen injury makes an unscheduled appearance in your life, visit Ortho South to find your nearest urgent care location. That website's orthosouth.org. You just walk in, and Ortho South takes care of everything, especially you. Learn more at the website, orthosouth.org. That's orthosouth at orthosouth.org. Now I got 5 more things you need to know.
Number 1.
Rick Barnes was in town last night. Big Orange Caravan, along with the great Mike Keith, voice of the Vols, former voice of the Tennessee Titans.
Shout out to Mike.
He texted me the other night.
Love Mike.
Texted me the other night.
Yeah, he's a great guy.
The best guy.
Mm-hmm.
He's coming into town, and he texted me something nice, so I texted something nice right back, and it was just good to hear from him.
Yep.
They were all in town last night, and as you know, the Memphis media was there. I believe Padjai was there from the Daily Memphian, and asked the question to Rick Barnes about, hey, I know you got non-conference games that you schedule every year, and you used to schedule Memphis sometimes. Think about scheduling Penny Hardaway's Tigers anytime soon? And Rick Barnes cut the question off and was just like, it is not something we've talked about lately. It's not something we're even close to talking about. To be clear, he didn't say it's not something we're close to doing. He said it's not even something we're close to talking about. It is not going to happen. Bennett, does this anger you as a Memphis supporter that Tennessee's basketball coach is dismissive of the Tiger basketball program and the possibility of putting the Vols and the Tigers on the court, whether it's in Memphis, Knoxville, or a neutral site?
Yeah, I mean, I thought we were Team Tennessee
In
over
Nashville.
here. I thought we were Team Tennessee over here. Isn't that the motto? Team Tennessee?
I don't think that's the motto.
Okay. Well,
I've never heard
yeah,
that
I mean, listen, it's lame. And listen, I know I'm going to say, Tennessee fans are going to be like, Tennessee doesn't need Memphis. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, that's fine. I agree. They don't need Memphis. It's still something that both fan bases love. Like, Tennessee fans can say they don't need Memphis all they want. They love that game.
You know what Tennessee fans
loves
love more than that game? They love being able to tell Memphis fans, we don't need you.
Right.
They love that more than the game.
No, but that fan base loves that game. They love booing Memphis. That building is always packed when Memphis goes to Knoxville. That is a fun game for the state. It's a fun rivalry. There's real hatred there. So I think it's lame that he won't do it. I even saw someone mention it was someone prominent too mention this. And I thought it was such a good idea, and it would probably never happen. But man, you look at the state. You've got these 3 big brands that are on you've got Memphis on one end, Tennessee on the other end, Vanderbilt right in the middle. 3 pretty proud basketball schools. It would be cool if one day someone could figure out a way to do some kind of Tennessee tournament to start the season.
They do this in Indiana.
Yeah, that's why. Because then it's Purdue, Indiana, Butler.
It's Purdue, Indiana, Butler, and maybe Indiana State was involved.
Yeah, but
there was 4 Indiana-based. Notre Dame. Maybe it's Notre Dame is involved.
You could do like a Tennessee tournament, and you could switch locations every year. So like one year it's at FedEx Forum, one year it's at Bridgestone Arena in Nashville, one year it's in Knoxville. And you could switch it up. You even involve some of those smaller schools like MTSU, and who else is Belmont's a big Tennessee
Belmont's
school.
Great.
Yeah,
I would love it. I love the idea. It's just that coaches love to have control over their schedules.
I hate that,
and
man.
even the coaches who participate in this thing in Indiana,
it just hurts the fans.
They don't all love it. And here's the truth: as a Memphis alum, as a Memphis fan, as a former Memphis beat writer, and as somebody who covers college basketball, I think it's better when Memphis and Tennessee play basketball.
One of the most viewed college basketball games of all time.
That's true. The 1 versus 2 matchup back in 2008. I like it when Memphis plays Tennessee, Arkansas, Vanderbilt,
Me too.
Ole Miss, Mississippi State, Alabama, any of the regional SEC schools. I would load up with them if I were Penny Hardaway. This is something where John Calipari's mindset vastly differed from mine. He was like, we'll play national schedules. If the SEC schools want to play us, they should invite us to be in the SEC. And that's fine. It's a cool little thing to say to get your fans but it misses the point wildly. At the end of the day, when you were coaching at the time in Conference USA, or in this moment, the AAC, which is even worse than old Conference USA, it's important to give your fans stuff that they care about. And Memphis fans do care about beating Ole Miss and beating Mississippi State and beating Arkansas and beating Tennessee. Why? Because we all have friends who are fans of those schools or went to those schools, and they all look down at us. They all talk down at us about our football program, about our football stadium, about our city, about crime. They talk down to us, so we enjoy beating them. So if I were Penny, I would be trying to schedule every one of these schools. I don't need Clemson. Nobody here cares about Clemson. I mean, it's fine. It's a fine game.
Yeah.
But nobody cares about Clemson. But people here would care about, Ole Miss and Arkansas. And I know you can't just snap your fingers and make these games. I'm just saying I would try to make these games. So that's where I'm at on it. I think I largely agree with you.
Yeah, I mean, the other thing too is I do think it really does benefit both programs, because you're rarely going to have a season when one of those two programs isn't good, right?
Sure. And Tennessee's been consistently better than Memphis in recent years.
Right.
Memphis, historically better program. Recent years, Tennessee, not even close. I wish they would play. If I'm being honest with you, I understand Rick Barnes' position on this, though. He does not need this game. And we all know Penny has grown into the job, matured. Even Penny talks about this. He still said what he said. He made pretty big headline-grabbing, derogatory comments about Rick Barnes. And then don't ever forget the last time they were supposed to play, it got canceled because Memphis didn't prioritize getting his team vaccinated. And I know the way we look back on that time is dramatically different than the way we experienced it then. And I'm not even telling you everything everybody said back then was right and you were stupid and whatever. I'm we moved on. But in that moment, it was understood in college basketball that as long as your players were vaccinated, they would not be subjected to contact tracing. These are all phrases we used to use daily, but you could get contact traced out of a game if you were unvaccinated. But if you were vaccinated, you wouldn't. You weren't at risk of that. So there's real thought in that moment when that game was canceled, an hour, 2 hours before tip-off in Nashville. Both teams have traveled there. Game gets canceled. Fans have traveled there. Game gets canceled. I can tell you the Tennessee staff believes this. If the Memphis staff would have just been running their program the way the rest of us were, which is trying to get your players vaccinated, not because you believe in it, but because it makes it more manageable to get through a season. If they'd have just done what the rest of us were doing, like a real basketball program, then we wouldn't have had to lose a game in the middle of the season that we all traveled to, paid money, private jets and the whole deal. Hotels, So the Memphis coach is cussing me publicly and creating a situation where we had to cancel a game that we otherwise would not have had to cancel. Why am I going to get back involved in this again? I'll find somebody else to play. That's what they believe. I'm just telling you.
Yeah, I think that's.
They might not ever say that, but that's what they believe. And I understand that. Imagine there was a local media member who had, for whatever reason, just popped off at me. Just publicly popped off at me. And then had done something to mess up something involving me. And then came to me 6 months later and was like, hey, GP, I know I popped off at you that one time and also messed up this thing you were trying to do this other time. But I also heard CBS is hiring. You think you could put in a word for me? No.
Yeah.
No. You think I'm going to do you a favor? No. I heard what you said. I'm not mad at you. We don't have to talk about it forever. But if you think I'm going to do you a favor, you have lost your mind. And right now, Rick Barnes making a Memphis, Tennessee basketball game, if you boil it just down to its core, you know what it is? It would be him doing Memphis a favor. It'd be him doing Penny Hardaway a favor because Memphis wants it and he doesn't. So he would have to do something he doesn't want to do. And by definition, that becomes a favor to the other side. Well, why are you doing favors for somebody who you've been sideways with and has done things that you didn't like or appreciate? I understand where Rick Barnes is. I don't think I'd be better than him.
That's fine. I mean, you're doing something for your fan base. I mean, listen, the whole the Memphis.
I'm telling you, the Tennessee fans put it at a poll. They will not tell you they want this game. You know what they like more than this? Knowing that Memphis wants the game, but we're not going to give it to you. They like that more.
Right, but they'll still bring their big orange caravan down here for an appearance.
That's fine. And people will still show up for it. Whatever. You know? Yeah.
I just the whole Memphis doesn't matter thing. It kind of contradicts itself when you're bringing your big orange caravan down here.
I don't think I've ever heard Rick Barnes say Memphis doesn't matter, or anybody connected to Tennessee. I think I've heard Rick Barnes say we're not interested in renewing a Memphis series, and I understand why.
That's fair. It's a disservice to your fan base,
perhaps, but I understand why. I get it. This is one where if I were in charge, I'd make the game.
Mm-hmm.
But I understand why he doesn't want to. That makes sense to me. Call him petty if you want to, but I would be similarly petty. You're not going to talk crazy about me and then ask me for a favor. I'm the one running the big program right now. You're the one running the one. You don't know if you're going to be able to keep your All-American from coming and joining my league. All right? Perhaps we would both benefit from each other, but in this moment, you need me more than I need you. And, yeah, I don't need you, particularly not after what you said and after you caused us to cancel that game. I'm not saying it's not petty. I'm saying I understand it.
I can't wait till he's out of there. I don't give a damn. I can't wait till he's out of there. We'll renew it eventually. With or without you, Rick.
With or without you, Rick.
Number 2.
Mikey Williams has a new college. Sacramento State. He's going to be a Sacramento State, whatever Sacramento State is. Whatever Sacramento State is, like Memphis is the Tigers and Tennessee is the Vols, whatever Sacramento State is, that's what he's going to be. But I don't know what they are because I don't pay attention to them. Oh, buddy, his career's not going too well. 5-star prospect starts his career signing with Memphis. Then he ends up at UCF. Non-player there. He sucked. And now he's at Sacramento State. Can you believe for a second our alma mater considered enrolling this dude who fired a gun into a car filled with people? He ain't. We just got through talking about Shadur Sanders and why he slipped to the 5th round. Not apples to apples, but why do you not fight for Mikey Williams? A, because he shot a gun into a car. I don't care how good he was. I would have never enrolled him. Never. All right? He fired a gun into a car filled with people. I would have never enrolled him. But part of the reason I was telling Memphis not to enroll him was because he ain't good enough for this.
Yeah,
why do you want to get all the negative highlights, all the negative headlines in a city that already has a gun problem and already has a basketball and gun problem?
No,
why you want to do this? And here's the truth: he ain't good.
That was the thing. Sucks. Is it was like when it looked like there was a good chance he was going to be a Memphis Tiger once upon a time. My whole thing was just. Okay, but man, I hope he's really good because is it worth it? And
he's not really good.
Yeah,
he's not really good. Really talented, but more of a celebrity than a type of guy I would want in my basketball program.
This has got to have something to do with because the Shaq news came out this week that he's going to be the general manager of.
Sure, Mike Bibby's the head coach. Shaq's kid's there. I mean, sure, it's all that. All that stuff's connected. But the biggest thing you need to know is that a player that Memphis was willing to, on some level at one time, jeopardize its reputation as an institution by standing by a young man who fired a gun into a car filled with people. The only reason he's not facing a murder charge is because he got lucky. The bullet didn't hit a person and kill them. But it's not because he didn't pull the trigger and fire it into a car, all right? The only reason he didn't face a murder charge is because he got lucky. I never understood why you would want somebody like that to represent your university. I would have come down hard on him if he'd ever actually played a minute at that school. But ultimately, they figured it out. They passed on him. And the reason I would have passed on him is because I don't want somebody like that representing my university, period. Period, stop there. I don't want, if you've ever fired a gun into a car filled with people, I don't want you representing my university, period.
I think that's a reasonable stance.
Period, all right? That's not a mistake. That's not, kids are being kids. It's firing a loaded gun into a car filled with people. I don't ever want you representing my university. But beyond that, he's just not that good. He's not as good as his problems are bad. And that's why he's now at Sacramento State. We wish him luck or not. I don't really care.
Number 3.
Another day, another Bill Belichick headline. This one from The Athletic.
What's going on?
So now everybody's starting to dig on this and ask real questions. And you know what they found out?
What?
North Carolina basically had a deal in place with Hard Knocks, HBO, to come in, do 2 months documentary on Bill Belichick, year 1 in Chapel Hill.
I didn't know they were doing college football.
Well, like this is hey, let's get into it, right? Deal's basically done. At the last minute, the production company pulled out of it. And do you want to know why? Jordan Hudson, the 24-year-old girlfriend of Bill Belichick, was making too many demands, reportedly, and trying to be too involved. And they just, at the end of the day, this production company that deals with NFL franchises. Mm-hmm. Anybody you've ever seen on Hard Knocks, this production company deals with these franchises. And they said, we cannot deal with this woman. She is too much. And we're done here. CBS says the exact same thing about her. And now North Carolina, the administration is reportedly on the verge of stepping in and saying something about, like, hey, this is not okay. It's just weird. His girlfriend's nearly 50 years younger than him, and she's running his life and is present everywhere. Like, at what point does somebody, and this is the reporting, this is where they're leaning toward, at somebody at Chapel Hill is going to be like, hey, Bill, all due respect, but nobody else's girlfriend is at work with them every day. Why is she here? She doesn't work here. I've been married for 20 plus years. Do you realize if my wife was here every day, that would be weird? Mm-hmm. If I was hanging out at her store every day, that would be weird. What are we doing?
Yeah.
And now she's, again, like these, she sends out these emails. It's like President Belichick Productions. The Athletic looks into Belichick Productions. They can't find that it even exists. She just made up a company. She calls herself the president of Belichick Productions, but it's not actually a thing.
Yeah, I think there's like licensing and stuff involved.
Just
with
there's
that,
no
right?
evidence that it's actually something that exists, but it's on her emails.
I'm gonna start doing that.
Yeah.
Doyle Productions.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna put that in my email
be the president of
signature. Yeah.
It's just crazy. I don't even know how this happens to people other than it happens to people. And I guess we've all done stupid things in the spirit of women or men, whatever. Mm-hmm. But like this is
this is getting wild.
Dude, it's his former players. It's people who call him a friend. It's people who used to work with him. You can't turn on a television right now or jump on social media right now without somebody going, what is he doing? Mm-hmm. Like there's a former Patriots player saying North Carolina should fire him. This is crazy. You get a new job, show up at work. This is a big boy job. This is an ACC job.
Yeah.
Why is your little girlfriend running around the office all day long? Like, it's crazy. I tried to, yesterday, if I got divorced and had the youngest possible girlfriend I could have, let's call it 18 years old, she'd be 30 years younger than me, and she was here every day I walked out of here, everybody in here would make fun of me. First off, why are you with an 18-year-old? You look crazy. You look sad. Beyond that, why is she here every day? Can't you just like turn on Nick at Night for her and let her watch TV and then meet her back at the apartment or something?
Nick at Night.
Like, what are we doing? Why is she here every day? Bro, why is she everywhere with you? It's embarrassing. He's embarrassing himself.
It's very weird. But I mean, it's not that surprising.
This is surprising. Bill Belichick having his... Tell me if this would be surprising. Everything you know about Bill Belichick your whole life. And then I tell you this 3 years ago. In 3 years, Bill Belichick is going to be an ACC football coach, and his entire life will be run by a 24-year-old woman that he's dating. He'll be 70.
No, that's a little weird.
He'll be 70.
That's a little weird.
You would think that's crazy.
Yeah.
You would not. You'd be
that's
like,
a little
what?
weird, yeah.
This is a guy, no nonsense, doesn't take no distractions, focused on the task at hand every day of his life. Now, a 24-year-old woman's running his life.
Well,
I understand. I understand what happens. I'm just saying I would like to think that I would be smart enough to recognize, okay, this is crazy. This is crazy. I cannot let this happen.
Yeah.
But he apparently
could fight off the temptation.
Like, there's got to be a middle ground. Okay, you're 73 and you're into women in their early 20s. I think that's weird, okay? I would be embarrassed if I were 73 and walking around to award shows with a 24-year-old. I would feel embarrassed. To each their own, I would feel embarrassed. I'd feel like it's inappropriate and everybody was mocking me, all right? There has to be a middle ground between you're into 24-year-olds when you're 73 and they come over to your house sometimes. But they don't need to go to work with you every day, all right? They don't need to go to work with you every day. Like, I had real jobs when me and my wife started dating. I worked at the Commercial Appeal. She didn't go to work with me every day. I don't think she went to work with me at all. Bringing your girlfriend to work every day is weird, I think, almost regardless of the circumstances, particularly when she doesn't work there. What is she doing?
Yeah.
Who else has a girlfriend or a boyfriend? Who else works at North Carolina Athletic Department and their girlfriend or boyfriend is just running around every day telling people what to do? It's not normal. And if he can't figure that out on his own, somebody's got to get through to him. Or North Carolina's got to step in and just create some boundaries. Because you can't keep doing this. Like, CBS and HBO have both said in the span of 3 days, through sources, the 24-year-old is a problem when you're trying to deal with Bill Belichick. HBO and CBS are two of the biggest things that exist. And they both say, buddy, we deal with coaches and celebrities and PR people and hangers-on, and this is what we do. We deal with these people every day, and this is different. This is different. That's a problem. It's time to do some soul searching.
Yeah, come on, Bill.
It's time to do some soul searching.
Number 4.
Then he got up this morning, turned on the Today Show.
Yeah.
And there's a story about chicken taking over fast food. Now, I think this has been going on for a little while, but according to the Today Show, because I saw your little story.
Kill me now.
According to the Today Show.
I'm pulling 5 more things from the Today Show.
Got to pull them from somewhere.
Bury me now.
Got to pull them from somewhere.
God's sakes.
Gotta
what
pull
have I
them.
turned into?
Got to pull them from somewhere.
I love the Today Show, actually.
Got to pull them from somewhere.
Yeah.
They're suggesting chicken is at an all-time peak right now.
It is. Did you know that we're having a fast food chicken boom? Did you know that?
I felt that.
You felt it?
Well, I felt it, and here's why. Went to Taco Bell the other day with my youngest son. I said, buddy, what do you want? And he was looking at the menu. Normally, we'd get a soft taco or a cheese quesadilla or whatever. He said, do they have chicken nuggets? I look up there. I said, Taco Bell apparently does have chicken nuggets. I'll just have chicken nuggets. We purchased chicken nuggets from Taco Bell. I don't know if that's good or bad. I just know that that's a new thing. When Taco Bell has decided we got to get into the chicken nugget business as well, join the Chick-fil-A, the McDonald's, the Wendy's, the Zaxby's, the Burger King. Everybody has chicken now, including Taco Bell. So did I know we're in a chicken boom? I don't know if I knew it, but I felt it.
Yeah, and they keep selling out of them, those Taco Bell nuggets. Apparently they're really... Did you have one? Did you?
I had a bite of one, so I had like a half of one.
And?
Felt a little greasy.
Was it a unique nugget, like a Taco Bell style nugget?
It felt like a thicker nugget.
It's a thicker nugget?
Like almost like a thicker nugget. But when I bit in, I tasted a little more grease than I would like to taste.
Fair enough.
It had a greasy taste.
It appears they're experimenting with the recipe, so just be patient.
Yeah.
Chipotle, their number one seller is their chicken.
Yeah.
McDonald's brought back these chicken strips. They're flying off the menu like crazy. They're going to be a permanent menu. They brought back that snack wrap, the chicken snack wrap that people are obsessed.
I F with that.
Apparently, there is Wendy's is studying adding new chicken items to their menus, Like there's this big fast food chicken boom.
I love chicken.
I do too. I mean, I don't know where I'm going with this exactly.
Yeah.
I just know that it was like a story on the Today Show today, and I was like, God, I like fast food chicken too, so I'm going to put in 5 more things today.
I appreciate you doing it. No, I like chicken too.
Yeah. Remember we had that moment, the battle, like when
the
you
Popeyes
had
chicken sandwich and the Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich and the KFC tried to get involved.
It kind of died. We oversaturated the market. It kind of died, unfortunately. It was fun, though, for a minute.
I had a good time.
I had a great time with that.
I had a good time with it.
We lied to ourselves, though.
I didn't.
Everyone was like, is this one better than Chick-fil-A?
The Popeyes chicken sandwich is great. I'm not going to sit here and fight you on it.
None of it was better than the Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich. It just wasn't. It just wasn't.
I will tell you, more recently, I've enjoyed Chick-fil-A sandwiches more than Popeyes chicken sandwiches.
Yeah.
But that Popeyes chicken sandwich it's A+. It's very good.
It was fun because it was new. It was fun because it was new.
But it's also great.
It's pretty good.
It's very good. It's a very good chicken sandwich.
It's not Chick-fil-A. It's not.
Okay.
There's something about that Chick-fil-A recipe. I don't know what it is. Don't ask me.
I'm not going to ask you.
Okay.
They're equally good. If you put both of them in front of me,
they're
maybe
equally good.
They're
I
both
don't know if they're
great.
equally
They're similarly
good.
good. They're similarly great. All right.
Okay.
Did you know chicken is also less expensive than beef? Poultry is less expensive than beef.
That explains what's going on here.
You can get a more
inflation. We're trying to save money. Yep.
Yeah, there's something about you can put a.
Then why are eggs so expensive?
I don't understand anything that's going on in this world right now.
Why are eggs so expensive but chicken is cheap? What am I missing here?
Don't know.
Wait.
It doesn't make sense because chickens make eggs.
Right?
Yeah.
It's got to be something about
I don't know. I don't know.
Boxing process.
I know
or something
sometimes.
like that.
I know sometimes
Yeah.
I try to sit here and act like I'm smart, but this is one where I'm just going to tell you I don't know. I don't know what's happening in this world. I try to keep up.
Yeah.
I don't know.
The chicken or the egg?
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't understand anything in this world anymore.
I do want to try those Taco Bell nuggets, though.
You should.
Yeah,
you should.
I do.
You should. I like chicken. I'm glad that it's having its moment. I'm doing my part.
I'm doing my part as well.
I'm doing my part. I know I'm buying plenty of chicken.
All right.
Can't get enough of it.
Yeah.
All right.
Number 5.
Oh, man. Do you hear about this John Elway story?
No.
You really don't know this?
No.
Okay.
John Elway. I tried to laugh it off in the open, and you were like, chill out.
John Elway is a golfer.
Okay.
Well, first he was an NFL quarterback.
Yes, he was very good.
Won Super Bowls, Hall of Fame, all that stuff. Ran the Broncos. Does he still run the Broncos? It doesn't matter.
Does John Elway still run the Broncos?
Let's ask AI. Does
I
John
swear I know things about sports. I promise.
Elway
I might not have given that off today.
Run the Broncos. Come on. No,
no,
longer.
He's out of that.
He's
the Paxton Lynch thing.
That did it. Oh, buddy, you use a pick on Paxton Lynch. You got to go.
Yeah.
So John Elway drafted a Memphis quarterback and lost his job. I'm not sure if that's exactly true, but you get the point. He is golfing because now he's freed up. He doesn't have a job, so he's freed up. Playing golf the other day, over the weekend. He's playing with his buddy, his agent, longtime agent. It's like his best friend.
Mm-hmm.
For reasons that are unclear at this time, the best friend is like hanging on the back of the golf cart as opposed to sitting in it. Mm-hmm. And, golf courses are just supposed to be fun.
You get a little wild when you're in those golf carts.
Except, do you when you're that age? I mean, I'm this age and we don't get wild in the golf cart anymore. When I was young, it'd be like, undo his bag so when he takes off, the bag will fall off.
The bag falls.
Or like, you might wreck a golf cart every once in a while or run into somebody. Or, we just, as you age, none of that stuff's funny anymore. If somebody unbuckled my bag and it fell off, I'd be like, bro, that's $2,000 you just banged onto the ground or whatever it costs. Like, what have we done? That's not funny. When you're 19, that's funny.
Yeah.
But when you're old, like none of the stuff that you think's funny on a golf course when you're a kid remains funny unless you never actually grow up and mature in any sort of way.
I always laugh at those videos. They always make me laugh.
They do.
They're really funny.
They can be funny.
Yeah.
So I don't know what was going on, but I'll cut to the chase.
Okay.
Somehow the best friend falls off the golf cart, bangs his head, presumably on the cart path. Mm-hmm. That's concrete.
That's concrete.
He's on life support. He's probably not going to live.
Oh my God.
Yes. John Elway's best friend is about to die because John Elway was driving the golf cart. How would that make you feel?
Horrible.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It doesn't even mean it's your fault, but like either way, that's you. Be careful out there. So I'm trying. You think you're on a golf course and it's like, hey, let's get some drinks and let's goof around and let's have some fun. And I do all that stuff too.
Yeah.
I do all that stuff too. Be careful. You probably won't die on a golf course, but you can.
I haven't been golfing in maybe a decade.
Well,
I don't even know what it's like.
It's amazing.
I know. I feel like I would enjoy it. I feel like I would enjoy myself.
I will tell you this,
I can swing a golf club, I guess.
All seriousness, I had a friend who had never played golf. He's my age. He had never played golf. But you know, he's got some disposable income and some free time. And I was like, man, just go take some lessons. And I was like, this dude plays 4 times a week now. He's probably been playing 3 years. He's a member at a club, plays 4 times a week, absolutely loves it. Here's my selling point on golf. Most of us grew up playing something. Soccer, baseball, football, basketball, whatever. You get to a point where you don't play football with your friends anymore. You don't play basketball with your friends anymore. You don't play baseball with your friends anymore. There's nothing we all spent the first 18 years of our life competing in something. And then you get to an age, you don't compete at anything anymore. And golf can provide that. You can compete with your friends, have fun with your friends, enjoy being outside. There's nothing I enjoy more than being on a golf course. It's the most fun. It's a perfect day for me. It's a perfect morning, perfect day. I love it. But I've never been on live sport.
Yeah, that's good.
You know, you got to be careful. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Yeah.
Be careful out there. Sit where you're supposed to sit. Drive cautiously. Watch your head.
I found out about there's this new drink that I've been enjoying that I found out about from a video of someone making it on a golf cart. Well, it was like one of the cart girls. Do they still have cart girls? Is that a thing?
Some places have them. My golf course used to have them, and I swear this is what I was told. It's just too much trouble.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. I'm going to have to tell you about it. I think you'd like it.
Like, there's sexual harassment lawsuits waiting to happen.
Well, that makes sense, too.
Marriages get broken up.
Oh, yeah.
Some men do not know how to act around cart girls. And so what I gather is at some courses, they've just decided the cons outweigh the pros.
I get it. I totally get it.
Like there are some golf courses where this is something that really happens. Like the wives show up wanting to fight the cart girls.
Yeah.
Because
I mean, you know, it's a hot. You have a couple vodka sodas, like your confidence starts getting through the roof. You know.
I wouldn't wish. I had a friend of mine who has
Did he ruin his life over a cart girl?
I mean, I know people who have ruined their lives over cart girls. Yes. If that's your question, yes. But this friend of mine, she has a daughter, and she's an attractive young woman. And she was like, hey, do you know anybody at so-and-so? And I was like, yeah. And she was like, trying to think about maybe getting her in, and I was like, don't subject your daughter to that. It will probably be fine, but like men will objectify her and say or think awful things. And I just rather, let's don't do that.
Yeah.
Let's don't do that.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. But be careful on the golf course. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Okay.
Tough story, huh?
That's tough. I don't like that one.
Maybe there's a miracle out there.
Yeah.
Maybe there's a miracle out there.
Okay.
But short of that, the lesson's going to be just be careful on a golf course. Bad things can happen.
Yeah.
Anytime you get something involved with a motor and some wheels and concrete, bad stuff can happen.
Okay. Yeah.
Be back with GP's Carryout.
We touched on this earlier, the panel here, about what really has been the mainstay of the Grizzlies, and that's Jaren Jackson Jr. Trip has just been awesome.
He's posting guys up. He's stronger than he's ever been. He's physical, and he's scoring all type of ways.
Hey, Grizzlies fans, be sure to tune in to Grizz, where the panel and I break down all things Grizzlies and take a look at the rest of the NBA as well. The show is live every Wednesday, 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Bain drives.
Oh, yeah.
Close. He hits and the Grizzlies have the lead.
Yeah!
Jaren with a knock-in.
Good defense.
Durant attacking, spinning, hanging, and hitting.
Let's go!
Radio. Welcome back to Sonic RNDIO. That spells radio with me, the CIO. This just in, the new Sonic $1.99 menu lets you build a crave-worthy meal for just $1.99 an item. Whether that's a creamy shake, crispy tots, or a quarter-pound double cheeseburger. This just out. Ostriches. They're mean, not very cute, and in my opinion, way too big for a bird. Don't miss the Sonic Fun 99 menu. 5 items, always $1.99. Live free, eat Sonic.
Tax not included. See menu for details.
All you American wrestling fans out there, watching this international road to WrestleMania should be a wake-up call. Turn up at these shows. Stop being so spoiled, because Cody Rhodes, Cody Rhodes, Cody Rhodes,
I love it.
Cody Rhodes.
Let's go, Cena. Cena sucks.
Yeah.
I'm wabbing my finger because you're telling those people that they need to do better.
Yeah. Tune in to Grind City Wrestling weekly on the Grind City Media app and on the Grind City Media YouTube channel.
Debo traded from San Francisco to the Commanders for a 5th-round pick. There's no other sport where you would get a player of his ilk for a 5th-round pick.
Over under total yards for Debo. If they set it at 1,000, you think he hits that over?
Total yards?
Total yards from scrimmage. Total yards.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
The Odds Couple, live at 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Welcome back, Gary Parrish Show, presented by Ortho South. Let's wrap this up with GP's carryout.
It's time for GP's Carryout. One final segment filled with stuff to take with you. It's not everything you need to know, but it's most of it. What did we learn today?
Whole bunch of stuff, but in the opening segment, we focused on the Rookie of the Year news from last night. Stephon Castle from UConn, San Antonio Spur. He got the most votes, so that makes him the 2025 Rookie of the Year. But Jalen Wells finished 3rd in the voting. Zach Edey finished 5th. So the Grizzlies had 2 of the top 5 rookies in the NBA this season, according to a global media panel of 100 voters. In a week or so span where we haven't gotten much good news, we watched a franchise get swept out of the playoffs. We watched John Morant take a hard fall and into season and street clothes again. If you're trying to be optimistic about the future, that's a decent place to look. Jalen Wells, Zach Edey, 2 of the top 5 rookies in the NBA this season, even though neither were actually drafted in the top 5. Zach Edey, 9th overall. Jalen Wells in the 2nd round. So nice rookie seasons for 2 Grizzlies, and they were formally recognized for as much last night.
What's today's biggest game?
All right, Bennett, I'm taking you. We got a great doubleheader tonight.
What's going on?
Warriors-Rockets at 6:30. Timberwolves-Lakers at 9 o'clock. Let's go to Crypto.com Arena.
Okay.
It's Luka Doncic and LeBron James against Anthony Edwards and our old buddy Mike Conley. Lakers are 6.5-point favorites tonight. They have to win or their season is over. Total's 209.5. How you going to act?
6.5.
That's right. Big number.
Yeah, I'll take the. I'm going to. See, 6.5 is weird. I messed up last night, but it feels like it's begging you to take the Timberwolves here. I'll go Lakers.
Bennett said he's taking the Lakers minus 6.5. Tip off 9 o'clock. You can watch it on TNT.
What are we watching on TV?
Have you watched the John Mulaney show on Netflix at all?
No, I heard it's pretty good, though.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's live every Wednesday night. So live tonight, 9 o'clock Central. And it's like a
variety show kind of thing?
Kind of.
Yeah.
Like the way they describe it is John Mulaney hosts the first ever celebrity talk show, which is obviously a joke because there's a million of these. But it's just like him and other funny people. Like he does a monologue and he's hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
And there's other funny people. And they're all just talking and being funny. Like it's live television, so you never know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
I've watched 2 of them live. Just, hey, it's on, I'll turn it on. And like, I'm not bored. It's fun. It's fun just to have on in the background. It's a good live thing to have on in the background. So if you're interested in trying it tonight, Netflix, 9 o'clock, the new John Mulaney show. It's called Everybody's Live with John Mulaney. Netflix tonight, 9 o'clock.
What's the best thing we've read?
So I told you earlier over at CBSSports.com they are ranking all 29 teams other than Milwaukee in terms of how would they fit in a possible Giannis Antetokounmpo trade. So it's 1 through 29, Bennett, with number 1 being like, this is the best place. This is where Giannis should end up. Makes all the sense in the world. Number 1 is the Brooklyn Nets, followed by the Houston Rockets, followed by the Golden State Warriors. Those are the top 3. Where do you think the Grizzlies are?
14.
18.
Okay.
18, and here's what is written, and it was written by Sam Quinn, who is a really smart NBA writer at CBSSports.com. Here's what he wrote. Ja Morant might actually be pretty valuable to a Milwaukee team in need of a franchise player. The Grizzlies control their future picks. Zach Edey has upside. Jaren Jackson Jr. and Desmond Bane are pretty easy fits next to Giannis. We've just never, and this is something I talked about yesterday, we've just never, not even once, seen an established superstar who wasn't already in Memphis appear all that eager to live in Memphis. Jimmy Butler reportedly made it clear during his trade brouhaha that he wasn't interested in going there. So, would Giannis just say no to this out of hand? And if he does, Milwaukee would say, probably, well, then we're not going to do that. They're probably going to do or try to do right by Giannis and send him in a place where he would like to be. And Sam is like, maybe Memphis, but no other person like this has ever said, yeah, I'll go to Memphis, or I'd be willing to go to Memphis. But it is interesting. Ja Morant gets tossed out of there. And I'm somebody who thinks you need to have a lot of different conversations before you get to a look at moving Ja Morant conversation.
Me too.
But Giannis is the type of thing that makes you look at everything. You can love Ja Morant and buy all the shoes and everything, but if Giannis actually said, I'd go to Memphis, and there was a deal in place and it involved Ja Morant, you got to think real hard about that. You would agree with that, right?
I think it's
Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Yeah, I think every franchise right now outside of the Milwaukee Bucks is thinking of a way to get Giannis.
And there are very few franchises that would say we actually have somebody who is quite literally untouchable.
Yeah, I think if he becomes available, I think pretty much every franchise is interested. Yes.
And you are interested in listening to almost anything involving anybody. That's where I would be.
Yeah.
So is it likely Giannis is dealt to Memphis in some big blockbuster trade? No, it's unlikely for a variety of reasons, but it's still fun to think about. And if you want to read it, it's at CBSSports.com right now.
What's on tap for tomorrow?
Well, tomorrow will be Thursday. Mike Wallace will join me. We'll be looking back at Rockets Warriors, looking back at Lakers Timberwolves. In theory, the Lakers season could be done this time tomorrow, and so could the Rockets. So a lot of NBA stuff to get to. I'm looking forward to it already. Enjoy the rest of your day. I'll enjoy mine. We're going to meet back here tomorrow at 10. Till then, be careful, be kind, be good. Rep your hood.